Nzinga Mbandi Ngola, commonly known as Nzinga or Queen Nzinga, was a remarkable historical figure whose life and legacy have left an indelible mark on the history of Africa. Born in 1583 in the Kingdom of Ndongo, which is now part of modern-day Angola, she rose to become one of the most powerful and influential leaders in the 17th century. Nzinga's story is one of courage, diplomacy, and resilience, as she fiercely defended her people against Portuguese colonization and fought for the independence and freedom of her kingdom. Early life and ascension to power. Nzinga was born into a ruling family of the Mbandu people, who were part of the Ndongo kingdom. Her father, King Kilwanji, was the ruler of Ndongo, and Nzinga was groomed from an early age to take on leadership responsibilities. In her youth, she received a comprehensive education, learning about politics, diplomacy, and warfare, which would prove crucial in her future endeavors. Nzinga's path to the throne was marked by tragedy. Her brother, Ngola Mbandi, was the king's designated heir, but his unexpected death opened the door for Nzinga to ascend to power in 1624. As a woman in a male-dominated society, her rise to the throne was a significant departure from the norm, and it foreshadowed the extraordinary nature of her reign. Defending Ndongo against Portuguese encroachment. Nzinga's reign began at a critical time when the Portuguese were intensifying their efforts to expand their colonial presence in the region. Portugal sought control of Ndongo's valuable resources, including slaves and minerals. Nzinga was aware of the looming threat and determined to defend her kingdom against the Portuguese invaders. Her early years as queen were marked by a series of battles against the Portuguese, led by their governor, João Correia de Sousa. Nzinga proved to be a skilled military leader, personally leading her troops into combat. She displayed exceptional courage and strategic acumen, often turning the tide of battle in her favor. In 1626, Nzinga's forces achieved a significant victory over the Portuguese at the Battle of Mbambai. This success bolstered her reputation and strengthened her resolve to resist Portuguese domination. Seeking diplomatic solutions. While Nzinga was a fierce warrior, she also recognized the value of diplomacy in achieving her goals. She understood that the Portuguese possessed superior military power, making it necessary to explore other avenues to safeguard her kingdom. In pursuit of diplomatic solutions, Nzinga engaged in negotiations with the Portuguese authorities. In 1626, she sent a delegation to Luanda, the capital of the Portuguese colony, to discuss peace terms. However, the negotiations did not yield the desired results, as the Portuguese sought to impose unfavorable terms on Ndongo. Nevertheless, Nzinga persisted in her diplomatic efforts. In 1627, she attended a second round of negotiations in Luanda, where she sought to present herself as a diplomatic equal to the Portuguese governor. This encounter is famous for the account of Nzinga refusing to sit on the floor as a sign of submission. Instead, she had one of her servants kneel, allowing her to sit on their back during the discussions. While the negotiations did not lead to a comprehensive peace agreement, they demonstrated Nzinga's determination and prowess as a diplomat. Her stance at the negotiations served as a powerful symbol of her people's resistance against colonial oppression. Alliance with the Dutch. As the Portuguese pressure on Ndongo intensified, Nzinga explored alliances with external powers to strengthen her kingdom's position. In 1641, she formed a strategic alliance with the Dutch, who were also active in the region and at odds with the Portuguese. The Dutch provided military support to Nzinga's forces, aiding in their resistance against the Portuguese. With Dutch assistance, Ndongo regained control of its capital city, and Nzinga returned to power. This alliance allowed her to reclaim territories that had been lost to the Portuguese. However, the Dutch alliance proved to be complex and ultimately short-lived. The Dutch were primarily interested in securing trade advantages in the region, and their interests sometimes clashed with Nzinga's goals. For instance, the Dutch occupation led to tensions with the local population, who resented the harsh treatment and exploitation of resources. Nzinga had to navigate the delicate balance between protecting her kingdom's interests and managing the demands of her Dutch allies. Struggle for independence in Matamba. Despite the temporary successes in Ndongo, the Portuguese continued their campaign to subjugate the region. In 1648, the Portuguese launched a devastating attack on the kingdom, resulting in the capture of Nzinga's capital. Facing overwhelming odds, Nzinga made a tactical retreat, seeking refuge in the neighboring kingdom of Matamba. Matamba was a kingdom that had been previously under Nzinga's influence, and she quickly asserted her authority there, eventually becoming its queen. In Matamba, Nzinga regrouped her forces and continued her resistance against Portuguese colonial rule. As Queen of Matamba, Nzinga proved to be a formidable opponent to the Portuguese. She implemented a series of military and political strategies to strengthen Matamba's defenses and expand her influence in the region. Nzinga's leadership and determination inspired her people, and she earned the respect and loyalty of her subjects. Throughout her time in Matamba, Nzinga continued to pursue diplomatic avenues to challenge Portuguese dominance. She engaged in further negotiations and alliances, seeking support from other European powers opposed to Portugal's colonial ambitions. Despite the challenges and setbacks she faced, Nzinga never wavered in her commitment to the independence and freedom of her people. Her unwavering determination and resilience earned her the nickname the Amazon of Matamba. Nzinga's legacy. Nzinga's legacy as a fearless warrior queen and a symbol of resistance against colonial oppression endures to this day. Her story has been immortalized in history, literature, and folklore, becoming an integral part of Angola's national identity. Her life and leadership have inspired countless generations, particularly women, to stand up for their rights and to challenge social norms. Nzinga's ability to navigate the male-dominated political landscape and her refusal to be subjugated by colonial powers have made her a revered figure, not only in Angola but also in the broader context of African history. Her diplomatic efforts to forge alliances and negotiate with the Portuguese demonstrated her ingenuity and strategic thinking. Nzinga's actions exemplify the complexities of leadership in times of great turmoil, as she sought to protect her people and preserve her kingdom's autonomy against powerful foreign forces. Nzinga's impact extended beyond her lifetime. Her leadership inspired future generations of African leaders who sought to follow in her footsteps by fighting for independence, freedom, and the dignity of their people. In modern-day Angola, Nzinga is celebrated as a national heroine, and her legacy is enshrined in monuments, museums, and educational curricula. Her name is invoked in speeches, songs, and literature as a symbol of strength, bravery, and resistance against oppression. Beyond Angola's borders, Nzinga's story has captivated the world, with scholars and historians recognizing her significance in the broader history of Africa and its interactions with European colonial powers. Conclusion. Nzinga Mbandi Ngola, the warrior queen of Ndongo and Matamba, remains an emblematic figure in the history of Africa. Her life and leadership continue to inspire and resonate with people worldwide, reminding us of the enduring strength and spirit of the African people. Her unwavering determination to defend her kingdom, her strategic acumen in navigating complex political landscapes, and her commitment to the independence and freedom of her people have cemented her place as a legendary leader in the annals of history. Nzinga's legacy stands as a beacon of courage and resilience, a testament to the enduring power of those who dare to defy the odds and fight for justice and liberation.